Hello everyone, my name's Alexandra Lyon, and today I would like to share with you my foray into a famous Chicago pastry chef's career and how he kind of came to and has created a life for himself and a name for himself here in Chicago. The chef that I interviewed is actually a pastry chef. His name is Eric Estrella. He is the head pastry chef at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Chicago. It's actually a Four Seasons hotel here. And he manages not only the restaurant, DECA, as well as the catering banquets department and also room service. So with all those responsibilities, it has taken him, quite a while to work up towards such a prestigious position. And he shared with me a little bit about how he got to where he is today and what skills he received from previous positions that have made him successful today as the head chef at the Four Seasons. So to go back, Eric started baking when he was a little kid, but he actually wanted to pursue a career in being a savory chef because he grew up watching a show called The Famous Chefs of Chicago on PBS, which is ironic now that he lives here. But he did grow up in Seattle. And so when he was nearing his end of high school, he applied for a position, or he applied for school, and he was told that he needed professional kitchen experience. So he got his first professional kitchen job, and it was actually in a bakery. So he started working and learning how to make breads and cookies, and really he says that this was the best opportunity he was ever given, and that this is where his passion for pastry was really ignited. And from here, he decided that he would go to pastry school instead of pursuing the savory path. And once he completed his certificate in baking and pastry, he got an opportunity in Hawaii, and he actually took it. And one of the reasons that he says that his first baking job was so crucial to making him into the person that he is today is because it taught him to be flexible and to adapt to different paths and be able to be open to opportunities as opposed to being rigid to, the plan that he had originally thought out, which, in this industry, there's you got to roll with the punches in order to climb the ladder. And so he accepted this position at a very young age. He was only 20 years old, and he was asked to go to Hawaii to help open a restaurant and be the head chef. So here he learned really how to fine-tune his skills as well as learn how to manage other people. And being so young, it was kind of sink or swim for him, and he learned that you have to be able to adapt to different people's perspectives. He was managing people who were, 20 years his senior, and so to really be able to get issues out in the open and foster a very open and honest environment. So he took that away from this first management experience, and he went on to accept a couple of different positions in Southern California. And then he decided to move to New York without really kind of any plan. And this ended up working out far to his benefit. He met Francisco Payard, the famous Francisco Payard, and he became his second-hand man. And so here he learned how to, once again, kind of adapt to the environment that he was around. It was a very French, stringent environment, and he was very successful with Payard. But then he got married, he decided to have a family, and so he came to Chicago. And so that is kind of how he found himself at the Ritz-Carlton here. And he did share, some of his secrets to success at the hotel. As a lot of you probably know, it's a very prestigious hotel with extremely high standards of quality of service as well as product. So I asked him, how he maintains an environment that can create such products and deliver that kind of service. And he shared with me that, he has utilized the same tools since the beginning, and kind of, fine-tuned them as he's gotten older, in order to just create this open and honest environment where he is not only teaching his employees but also learning from them, and always being able to adapt to different people's perspectives and understand, where his employees are coming from, and how they feel the way that they do. And also, this hotel is union, so that was a big question in my mind. Does that compromise the level of service that he feels he's able to offer, or does that help him in any way? And he kind of said that as he's gotten older, he's gotten to follow the rules a little bit more. So because of the union, there's extremely strict rules. And so for him, he's more of just an enforcer. And it's kind of cut and dry for a lot of issues. If somebody's late, they're going to get written up. And so everybody knows the rules, and they're plain and simple. So those type of violations, he's kind of okay with, because the employee knows, what they've done wrong, and it's written out. He said that the conflicts that kind of go amongst coworkers are typically the ones that are the most detrimental, because it creates, a rift in the work environment. And so he said that he really strongly feels that at any point when there is a conflict, and he said that this is the number one problem that they encounter, somebody feels that they've been slighted, that they're doing more work than somebody else, or somebody else isn't, pulling their weight. So he really likes to get these types of conflicts out in the open, and not let them fester and kind of create a negative energy throughout the workplace. So he gets them out in the open, addresses each employee's feelings, and comes to some sort of conclusion so that it's not lingering in the air. So that was the number one thing that he said that he encounters on a daily basis, managing, such a big team for so many different outlets. And we also went over kind of what he enjoys the most about his job, and some of the things that he enjoys the least. And so he shared with me his biggest passion is being able to come to work and, create the things that he loves to create, and teach people, the skills that he has and the knowledge that he has, as well as, taking what they have to offer, because he said everybody has a different take on, techniques and different things that they've learned throughout their career. So kind of fostering that environment that is a double learning curve. And then some of the things that he said that he likes the least is it can kind of be tied into when he is hiring an individual. If it's completely up to him, he looks for people who are extremely passionate, great listeners, people who are eager to be where they are, not just taking a job to have a job. So he said that his biggest frustration is when he does have somebody in the workplace who is just there to get a paycheck. That this comes through on in their work, and they're not there to learn more. They're not there to further their personal education or their personal skills. They're just there to fulfill their duties, and then they're done. So he said that is kind of frustrating for him, because he is so fortunate to be passionate about what he does, years down the line, and that he wishes his employees could find something that they love so much that they're happy every single day of their life. So that's kind of what I came away with, that stuck most with me, and it was a very informative and great, inspirational interview with him. So I hope this helps you guys as well.